Evening, everyone. I'm Pat Moore, Chair of the Quality of Life Committee. Mariama James is here. She's co-chair. And our district leader, manager is here, Lucian Reynolds. And this is the Quality of Life meeting for November. So, first on our agenda, let's see, what is the first on our agenda? We are going to talk about selling of flavored tobaccos. Right? Is that what we're starting with, Lucian?
Yeah, now I'm going to try Ed. Ed hasn't logged back in yet. I think they're just
That is from the
checking it.
Department of Consumer and Worker Protection.
That's right. That's right. So while Ed is logging back in, checking the settings, I can just give a little bit of background. That'd be helpful for the tobacco thing.
Yeah. Yes, that'd
Okay.
be great.
So many of you who are aware of the goings on of Battery Park City on a more granular level will know that there was a retail operation that was launched at 88 Battery Place, where they had, in the beginning, were starting to advertise that they would be selling tobacco. Um, uh, People were worried about that being kind of on like the Silk Road for kids going from their buildings to school, and not being able to stop off and hopefully and they're worried that they would be able to buy tobacco. They asked the community board to intervene. The community board checked with Ed from the Department of Consumer Worker Protection, formerly DCA, the Department of Consumer Affairs, and Ed's back on. I'll let Ed see if the sound works. And Ed checked and saw and explained to us that that some years ago the city council capped the number of tobacco licenses that were available, to a level that's actually lower than the number of licenses that we have today. The people who had licenses already were grandfathered, but the idea is that in our district, fewer, as time went on and some of these stores went out of business and the grandfather licenses went away, that ultimately we would have fewer establishments selling tobacco than we do today, and also electronic cartridges. So what that means is that any new place that opens that sells tobacco is almost certainly not doing so with the permission of the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection. So that's the long and short of it. The Department of Consumer Worker Protection then sent enforcement over to the establishment at 88 Battery Place, and they got a litany of summonses, including 20 violations for sales of, I think, flavored electronic cartridges. Ed is back with us. Ed, can you hear?
Yes, I'm using headphones. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Great. Yeah, I just heard you the tail end of that regarding Battery Place, 98 Battery Place.
That's right.
Yeah. Were you aware of the sheriff's office seizing their goods?
No, please update.
I found out on Twitter not too long ago. So I'm glad to see that the sheriff's office is participating a lot more. It's a Twitter post I can share with email it to you later. I just recognize the store. But yeah. But I believe this took place, or at least the post itself on Twitter on the sheriff's office Twitter feed was on the 4th. So yeah. So just happy to share that.
Ed, did they just seize the flavored tobacco cartridges?
I can't speak on their behalf. So I know that I think there was also because I don't want to misspeak because that's not my agency, but usually when the sheriff's office steps in, it involves taxation is primary because they are out of the Department of Finance, and so whether things are untaxed, but I believe so, but I don't want to misspeak, and I'll let the
Right.
photos speak for themselves, and I'm happy to share that with Lucian.
Before we continue with the specifics of this particular store, could you just tell us what the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection does?
Oh, absolutely. So I if I may share my screen, I don't have a formal presentation, but happy to.
Okay, we're not formal. We're real informal.
Is this being recorded and
Yes.
streamed?
Yes.
Sure is. Don't mess up, Ed.
Your debut.
So I'm just gonna utilize what my colleagues at the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene has created, and I think we'll start off there. Let me just pull up my notes because I don't have a specific PowerPoint deck, but and let me know if I need to zoom in as well. Is that large enough for everyone to see?
No,
No?
If you could fill the screen,
but
that would then people should be able to read it
Better?
better.
much better.
Okay. And just bear with me for a second and apologize for the technical difficulties. I WebEx had to update on my end, and for whatever reason, it's only reading my my headphones.
Yeah, I was having trouble too. I have headphones on now.
So where do I begin? Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Ed Sen, and I am a senior community affairs associate at the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection. And just a little bit of background on who we are as a city agency. So the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection licenses more than 51,000 businesses in New York City in over more than 40 different industries, and it enforces key consumer protection and licensing and workplace laws, and that apply to countless more. So in this case, this evening, we'll be talking about two of the license categories, tobacco retail dealers and electronic cigarette retail dealers. But a little bit more about us. Many New Yorkers may be familiar with us as the Department of Consumer Affairs, but we have grown and expanded our role. So we support businesses through equitable enforcement and access to resources, and by helping resolve consumer complaints. GCWP aims to protect the marketplace from predatory practices and strives to create a culture of compliance. So during the pandemic, we were looking at price gouging for masks and other related COVID tests. More recently, this applied to infant formula when there was a shortage. And through our community outreach and the work of our offices of financial empowerment and labor policy and standards, we, as a city agency, empower consumers and working families by providing the tools and resources they need to be educated consumers and to achieve financial health and work-life balance. And the Department of Consumer Worker Protection also conducts research and advocates for public policy that furthers its work to support New York City's communities. So that's just a broad overview. And just so you know, this is our homepage, nyc.gov/DCWP, and you can read about what we just released today in terms of the minimum pay rate for app-based restaurant delivery workers. But back to our topic this evening, and before I continue, I just want to put a disclaimer that this presentation or this informal presentation is just an overview of the tobacco and retail dealer and electronic cigarette retail dealer license categories and the consumer protection laws that we enforce in New York City. It does not necessarily cover every requirement, and I'm happy to share some of the resources that I'll be utilizing today. So, any questions about us as a city agency before I continue?
Doesn't look like it.
All right. Hearing none.
And can you just talk maybe just a little bit about how DCWP works with Oath, and just how kind of Oath is a part of the enforcement process in terms of adjudication? Because I think some people may not be familiar with what happens after DCWP issues a summons for a violation.
All right, sure. So in terms of our role in regulating smoke shops in New York City, um, the and I'll go over a little later as well, just in terms of what our inspectors actually look for. I have our checklist here as well that we can and walk through. But So our role in just the regulation of smoke shop, there is a lot of confusion where many elected officials and community boards have reached out to us in hopes of enforcing marijuana or just the general sale of cannabis or synthetic cannabinoid hemp products. So uh, like CBD, Delta 8. So DCWP does not have any enforcement authority for the sale of these categories, so cannabis and synthetic cannabinoid hemp products. This solely falls under the jurisdiction of the New York State Office of Cannabis Management. So the city agency, we license these two specific categories. So the sale of tobacco products require a tobacco retail dealer license, and the sale of vapes, if you will, requires the the sale of electronic cigarettes and their component parts requires an electronic cigarette retail dealer license. And we license and enforce these two categories within the 5 boroughs of New York City. And what typically happens during this enforcement process is we conduct inspections on all licensed businesses regularly. And whenever we receive a complaint about an unlicensed business, whether it's tobacco or vapes, DCWP will inspect it and issue a summons for any violations that we encounter. And I guess I can jump to our just checklist here. So let me just go ahead and expand this. And you can all see that, yes?
Yes.
So these are just the general requirements. So we expect a smoke shop to have the correct licenses. So not only do they need a license from New York City, there's also a license from New York State that is involved. I'm sorry, is that me or
What are you hearing?
no? I just heard a phone ringing, so but
Oh.
it could have been on my end. My apologies. So and in terms of underage sales, this is something that we're looking for as well. So these are the specific laws that are involved. In terms of flavored tobacco, it is illegal to sell or offer tobacco products that that have or produce a distinguishable taste or aroma, and not only fruit flavors, but so here's just the general category. I know City Council has a pending bill surrounding flavored tobacco such as menthol, but I believe that's still in the process. But sale to minor, ensuring that there is a secure display, specific signage such as the age restriction being posted. There is a specific price floor as it relates to the sale of tobacco products, and as far as the minimum package sizing, so no individual loose cigarettes, and specifically the sale or offer of cigarettes in a package other than a container or a container less than 20 is something that we inspect for as well. So and I can share this link in the chat with you all as well if that would be helpful.
Great, thank you.
Yes, please do. Thank you.
navigating two screens. Hold on. Oh, where is the chat? Sorry.
There's like a top kind of floating orange
I
window
see.
when you're, yeah.
I see. Yeah, it's on my other screen. So there we go.
It says that the public chat has been disabled, so is Ed going to be able to post anything in there?
It comes to me as the host and I turn it around. I've posted to everyone.
Okay, thanks.
I think I have access for everyone there. Do you see that?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Thank you.
Yep. And yeah, I can go through. So going back to Lucian's question of what we look for, we have that here with electronic cigarette retail dealers as well, and I'll share that in the chat. But in terms of where Oath steps in, so let's say a good example would be 98 Battery Place, since this came up, where we received not only 311 complaints, we heard from the community board, and we scheduled an inspection. Our inspectors went out, they went through both of these category lists. There were a number of different violations. So once we issue the summons for said violations, the next step would be to have these summons adjudicated through the Office of Administrative Hearings and Trials, colloquially known as Oath, and they're given a date along with the summons, specifying the time and when this hearing would take place. And between this process, between the summons and the date, it can be anywhere from a month to 3 months, roughly, depending on how backlogged some of these cases are at Oath. What we do as an agency, depending on the manner of violations, sometimes we offer a settlement, depending, so they would plead guilty, and the fines would be reduced on some level, and they would plead to a settlement, and hopefully that would stop this business from being a bad actor and just sell what they are legally allowed to sell, as opposed to violating the law. So, Lucian, does that help overall? And because I wanted to just go over some of the different things as well.
I would say the only other thing, and this may be part of what you're already planning, is, what's the end of the line in terms of enforcement? If they refuse to comply, what's the top level of aggravated violation, and then is there anything after that?
Yeah, there is. So if I can, this orange tab is getting in the way of my browser. So here is, and I can share this link as well, just in terms of the penalty schedule as it relates to some of these violations. So you'll see on the left, and hopefully this is large enough. Can you all see that?
No.
No. Better? Worse?
Slightly better.
Sorry.
That's all right. You can just...
Yeah, so if you click on the link, and you'll get a sense of the different violations and how this is structured. So the most severe is for unlicensed activity. so there would be a fine of $2,000 plus $100 per day. So, what I mentioned previously, as it relates to oath, so each day the business is operating, let's say they decide not to settle with DCWP and they want to fight this in court. So from the date of the violation that's issued, the summons is issued to the date of their oath hearing. That would be the subsequent days. So it would be $2,000 plus $100 per day. So if it was a month and a half from now, you can do the math. If it was 3 months from now, so we're not, so we don't have to constantly go back and reinspect. But once it's adjudicated through oath, so whether, so based on the evidence, and speaking frankly, many of the bad actors that we see don't show up. So there's a default decision, and they are found guilty. And then, based on the violations, our team would calculate the total fines based on this specific schedule. So there are two different schedules. So this is the top one here is for tobacco retail dealers, and the one below that is for electronic cigarette retail dealers. So, any questions there? I know it's a lot to just get a sense of.
So Ed,
Yes.
there issued a violation, and the violation would say you have, too many, you're selling flavored cartridges. And so before, and we heard that 88 Battery Place, their goods were confiscated. So you're saying that before the goods are confiscated, they're issued a violation.
Pat, I'm sorry. So we do not do the confiscation. That was solely that was the sheriff's office. So that was on another matter entirely.
So it had nothing to do with them being issued a violation.
No. I
Okay.
mean, I will have to refer back to our legal team to see if there was specific coordination, but my general I don't want to misspeak. As there are many divisions within our agency, so I can look into that just to see if there was specific coordination. But I think stemming from the number of 311 complaints
Wow.
that we've received, yeah, I think that was partially some action that was taken there.
Yeah.
I believe that the first precinct had been reaching out to the sheriff's office as well. They've been pretty active in going by there, because we've been reaching out. And so, I mean, I think this is an opportunity for me just to say thank you to Ed and also to the first precinct. Both agencies have been extremely responsive to our requests on this. And I think it's really led to a big initiative. Justine Kucha, many of you know, is actually going around the district right now and cataloging all the tobacco shops so we can provide a pathway forward to future enforcement.
Lucian, if I can be helpful and save your team some time, at least sharing. I mean, this was a part of my presentation as well. Just in terms of the number of active retail dealers, and so this I don't want to get sidetracked, but so here we have on open data, and I can share this link. You can see based on each community district. So in CB1, you have a total of 103 active tobacco retail dealers and 67. And we can get down to the nitty gritty as well in terms of just the licensed businesses.
Can I interrupt for a second? Does that
Yeah.
number include newsstands?
Yes.
So does it include like CVS that sells tobacco? Does it include?
CVS is not allowed. Pharmacies in general are no longer selling tobacco.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So that's the link to what we're looking at here, and you'll see just by just community boards or community districts the number of active retail. So there is a cap, and let me just go into that in that discussion. Bear with me. one second. So, in terms of available licenses, I would say in the majority of community districts in New York City, there are not many licenses available. And in fact, there's zero in your district, and based on this particular webpage. So there are 2 licenses available in all of Manhattan, and that is in CB12, all the way on the other end of Manhattan. So, and why that is, so as far as like a community district capped, this is because of specifically local law 14 and 46 of 2017. And this was passed through city council as a public health measure. And the caps were set at 50% of the number of TRDs and ECRD licenses at the time of the passage of this bill. And all existing licenses were grandfathered into the caps, which is why the current active licenses exceed those allowable under the cap. And an application for these licenses can only be submitted to DCWP if there are licenses available in that specific community district. So in this case, only 2 are available in CB12. And the other caveats, as far as in terms of acquiring a license, is if a business with a TRD or ECRD license is sold, and someone acquires 10% or more of the shares of that corporation, or there's a change in partnership, they may apply for a new license at that same location as long as there is a current active license that's in good standing. So meaning that there is no violations, or those are some of the things that we look for, and that they apply for this new license within 30 days of the sale or change of ownership. And this doesn't apply to businesses located in specifically like airports or parks, where they're not subjected to the community district caps, but it's few and far between. So hopefully that answers some of that your questions. But also available on Open Data is just a list of active tobacco retail dealers. And I'm happy to share this link as well in the chat.
Is there some restriction? So, the issue with 88 Battery Place was that this establishment was in a clear pathway that kids used going to and from school. Are there other restrictions? Well, there aren't any open licenses right now, so I guess there won't be any new, am I correct? There won't be any new tobacco shops opening. Is that correct?
So we have regulatory authority over businesses that are engaging in licensed and unlicensed activity. But if a business is operating unlicensed, we generally ask the community to file 311 complaints and share the complaint numbers with our team so we can expedite these complaints. But we can't simply shut down a business as a part of just our procedure at our agency. Subsequent violations and unpaid penalties must accrue over a period before DCWP can consider sealing a business. So in terms of the proliferation of unlicensed shops, we can intervene, and so can the sheriff's office at some point if we identify that it's problematic. But in terms of anyone opening a business, there is a number of legal hurdles in terms of stopping a business from opening. That's not something that we do, nor is it practical on our end. But in terms of Open Data, you can definitely filter just the number of the specific businesses. So in terms of so we're gonna go look at CB1. And actually, this is more up to date than the previous page that I so previously it said there was 103 active licenses. So in this data set, there's only 101 that is currently active since open data was last updated. And I think, yeah, so this was updated fairly recently, depending on the data set. And I believe these are fairly, I think, depending on the data set, they're updated pretty frequently. And if we wanted to just see electronic cigarettes, we'll just have to do a filter here. But
While you're looking at that, so I'm gonna see if there's anyone on the committee that has any questions while you're looking up the. Anyone? Nope.
Right. So
Mariama?
I'll just follow. Oh, Mariama, I'm sorry. Oh, I see Gerald's in attendees. I moved you up, Gerald. So yeah, so just to get back really quick while Ed's working on filtering down the data, Justine is going through and just canvassing to see how many tobacco shops we have and where they are. And then we'll compare which ones she's observed with which ones actually have a license to sell both tobacco and electronic cartridges. That way we'll be able to hand a list to the first precinct and to DCWP and say, these are shops that we believe to be operating outside of DCWP permission for tobacco sales.
And how are we gonna know that? By going in to see if they have their license hanging?
Yeah, Justine.
No.
So Justine's taking a look at all these, and if she
So-
observes tobacco sales, she'll note it. But then we can look to see if that establishment is on the list of active licensing for tobacco or electronic cartridges.
So there are currently 96 active e-cigarette stores within your community board, and is that correct? Hold on. Oh no, this list includes inactive as well. So
Well, it's all right.
but yeah, you can definitely filter.
We could just go meander through there on our own and see. And
Yeah, don't worry. We can.
Yeah.
We'll be able to,
Yeah.
to carve this down.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm happy to be a resource in if you have any specific questions, just looking through this data set. But in terms of just going back to I guess my original the original PDF that I wanted to share. So this is from the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, and this goes over the specific lists and registrations required in addition to a licensing with us. These businesses have to license with the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance as a tobacco retail dealer. There's also a need for signage. There are specific requirements regarding packaging, which is on our checklist. But is there anything that I'm missing here? So there's the criteria regarding no flavored cigarettes or e-cigarettes as well. One thing that we don't cover is well, no, we cover pricing in terms of minimum price requirements, but sales tax is something that would be applicable to the state. And in terms of trafficking out-of-state cigarettes is not something that we look for, but more so, but I believe the sheriff's office and NYPD has more jurisdiction there. And in terms of selling to underage or selling to minors, let me just expand this.
just saw that. Yeah, 21.
Right. And going back to your question, Pat, of regarding just so there are specific laws with regards to being within the vicinity of a school. Let me see if I can pull this up here.
And how about, is there a law about the distances between tobacco shops? You know, like the 200-foot rule. Can they have tobacco shops within, like 10 on a block?
No, so that's not anything that we've encountered where I believe that is more of what the SLA has for liquor.
Right.
So in terms of just a distance between, it's really looking for advertisement and paraphernalia that's on the display, and so there are specific laws regarding that, but there isn't anything on the books regarding the actual distance from the store itself to and its
From the
proximity to a
school.
school or a
Yeah.
church.
Okay.
Um, thought I had this here, but yeah, I wanted to find the specific law, but this covers just the different fines and different charges as it relates to the sale to minors and the different laws
That's,
that
so we can kind of look at that ourselves, right?
yeah.
Okay, great. $250 surcharge for each New York State Adolescents Tobacco Use Prevention Act. Okay. So it was a good thing then that all of these parents and other residents noticed what was going on at 88 Battery Place.
I believe it's actually we have it on record as 98. But yeah,
98 Battery
it's within
Place.
that block base. But yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um.
Oh, I was sorry.
So just in terms of my materials, I think this covers a good majority of this. The only thing I wanted to share, obviously you can call 311, but you can also go to the 311 portal itself. There's a dedicated page for the unlicensed sale of tobacco products, and also a link to this sale of minor a complaint to for the sale to minors as well. Um, and
I
let's see what
assume
else.
these stores card people, correct?
They're supposed to, but
Supposed to.
in many instances, we are seeing that they're not. We also conduct where we do employ a minor, so someone that's under the age of 21, to conduct undercover operations to determine if they are actually violating this law.
So, you have to get the license to own the shop, but is there any training involved? And are their employees required to have any training?
Um, yes, in fact, there is a specific law just regarding to not having anyone under the age of 18 being able uh, to sell tobacco as well. But in most instances that we're seeing, if it's an unlicensed shop, it's not only are they selling tobacco and e-cigarettes, it's also involves cannabis, but and not speaking on behalf of the Office of Cannabis Management, but they have not issued any licenses as well, to my understanding. So there are no licensed shops in New York City at this point. It's something that they're working on. So we're seeing that it's a proliferation of all three categories in addition to whatever else that may be going on. Um, so we do involve NYPD where we can conduct joint inspections when there are violations that fall with beyond the scope of our agency's jurisdiction.
Mhm. That's
Um,
good. All right. Uh, Mariama, did you want to say something earlier? No?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
And I'll just say that I've heard that the first retail licenses may be voted on by the Cannabis Control Board as early as the 21st of this month.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. I'll keep my eyes peeled.
But this will be the first round of the social justice, the corrective social justice permits.
Right. Right. I write that down. So we'll keep our eyes on the news and see if what happens with that.
One other caveat that I should note, and I'm this is just in terms of the questions that we anticipate as it relates to cannabis. So, in terms of the way that the law is written now and the regulation of the sale of e-cigarettes and the component parts, whether it's used for tobacco or cannabis, this is something that we will inspect, and these businesses will still need a license. And um, on the legal side, I think there will be something that we'll be looking at with the Office of Cannabis Management. I know specifically seeing some of their updated regulations as of this month, earlier this month. Businesses that are licensed will not be selling tobacco product of any type. So there will be a clear delineation between um, just to make it easier to sort out. So there will be no all of the above, and if there is, that would be
So
yeah. For
if you have a cannabis shop, you sell cannabis and paraphernalia, but you can't sell tobacco.
right.
Okay. And then if you have a tobacco shop, you can't just suddenly start selling cannabis also.
Right.
Okay. That's good. That will make it easier. Great. Thank you, Ed.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'm available if anyone has any other questions, or Lucian, if you want to send me follow-up questions, please let me know. I hope that this was helpful. But
It is.
we didn't have a PowerPoint deck, but I did want to share specific resources.
It is. And I did not know that Consumer Affairs had changed their name, so I didn't realize it was the same agency.
We get that a lot.
So that's good to know.
And this is very informative. I certainly learned a great deal, and we really appreciate you giving us your evening.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me just stop sharing this because I'm looking at this. There we go. I can, yeah.
And we have all the links, that we'll be looking at the links. We like the open data links anyway. Thanks, Ed. So if there aren't any other questions, we're going to let Ed go.
All right.
And enjoy your evening and enjoy the upcoming holidays.
Thanks so much. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Be well. So we had invited officers from the first precinct to come tonight, but unfortunately, they are not able to attend. So I had wanted, if the committee and the community had any issues that they wanted to discuss with the officers, I had wanted them to be here for that. But I think we're going to have to wait until next month for that. Lucia, did you have anything to say on that topic?
Yeah, I spoke with them on Tuesday. Many of you know, every community board holds a district service cabinet meeting once a month where we get all the agencies together. It's a closed meeting, and the district manager will try to work out issues in a collaborative way with a lot of the different agencies that are present, and a lot of them will give us updates. The first precinct gave us some CompStat updates, and I pulled up the CompStat numbers, and I can just kind of tell you what they told me in a general sense is that most major crimes have dropped year over year in our district, and so that's murders are even at 0, which is fine.
Great.
Rapes are down 50% from 2 to 1. Robberies are down 35% from 20 to 13. Felonious assault is down from 13 to 10, it's 23%. Burglaries are down from 26 to 20. Grand larcenies are down 94 to 91. Grand larceny auto from 11 to 9. So those are the major crimes.
Within
for-
what period of time?
from 2021, from a 28-day period, but this year's is 2022 compared to 2021, the same 28-day period. So the sense is that a lot of the things that they're trying are working. There is an increase in theft, but there's also an increase in arrests for theft, and that's because they said they're doing things differently in terms of working more collaboratively with store managers to try to catch chronic shoplifting. So they feel like they're looking at. I mean, it sounded like they're turning. They didn't say turning the corner on shoplifting and small scale theft, but it sounded that that's kind of what they were describing to me. So
And that was kind of above ground crime. And
yes,
we didn't get any report on.
yeah. I would have to look at
transportation,
Transit
yeah.
District 2 for the subway stuff. So I can look up Transit District 2. Do they have it on here? Manhattan South.
Because of course
No,
on the
it's
news we all
transit.
heard about all these horrific things going on in the subway, not necessarily in our community, but still on the subway. So it'd be interesting to see what
Pat,
those
there have been
stats are.
things in our community in Lower Manhattan on the subway.
Yeah, no, there have been some. I said not all in our community.
No,
but
no, of
yes,
course,
there have
but-
been some.
Yeah, on this CompStat like site that I'm on right now that has like as a portal for data, they don't have the
Mhm.
transit districts on there. So
They
yeah,
do not,
all
you said.
subway crime. No, for some reason they don't have the transit districts. I'll have to see where that information is housed.
Well, again, next month, if we have our officers come, maybe they can help us get that information.
Yeah, we just
Before
need
they
to
come.
get Transit District 2 to be back engaged. We know they haven't been engaged since Jimmy retired.
Right. So maybe we can get them for next month, at
Yeah, I'll
which
try.
time we could also discuss the Brooklyn Bridge issue. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And is there anything that anyone wanted to discuss so that,
I see Jill's hand up.
okay,
Yeah, I just
Hi,
wanted
Jill.
to say, when you first said those numbers, I didn't realize that was just for a 28-day period. I think those are very high numbers, especially the grand larcenies and I mean, those are pretty shocking numbers.
that they were down from last year.
Yeah, but they were down, but that doesn't mean that the number of rapes per month, that's pretty scary number, I thought, and especially the larceny.
Well, I mean, any
larcenies.
crime, yeah, is scary, but luckily it's going down and not up. So that's a good thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's a good thing.
Yeah, any crime is too much crime.
Right.
Yeah.
But did anyone have anything they wanted to ask, not ask, but, well, ask Lucian to ask our officers so that they could prepare before they come next month?
Hi, Pat. It's Elizabeth.
Hi,
Tho-
Elizabeth.
Those numbers that Jill was just referring to, I think it would be helpful to, uh, do, do we have any sort of comparison to previous years besides last year? Do we have
I'm
pre-pandemic?
sure they could
See,
probably come with the year before.
You know, I what I would have to do is I would have to pull some of the more legacy data and maybe just try to recompile it together, because the portal that they have only compares year over year.
Yeah, I think
but
it'd be
not-
helpful if we had some previous years. I mean, just looking at it in a vacuum, basically comparing it to a previous year, which was also a pandemic year, I don't think is that informative. I think if we can go back a few years and look at it and compare,
Pre-pandemic.
helpful. Yeah, pre-pandemic.
Mhm.
Yeah, like 2018, 2019.
Yeah,
Mhm.
basically.
I actually
Good
agree with
idea.
Elizabeth even more. Go, look at the last 10 years to get a true thing in how the arc is going, because, from year to year, it's not a really true representation, because there could be other circumstances. So I agree with Elizabeth, and I think it should be, go back more than 1 or 2, 3 years. See the
I
arc
agree
over
with
the
you,
last
but you
5,
also
10 years.
have to remember that because our population has increased, I would love to know how those numbers are affected by the fact that we have a larger population than we had.
You know what? I don't think, I mean, the people that are moving here, most of them, I mean, are a lot richer than me and than us. And, you know, like, and I don't think that that's going to, that would have be the reason
No,
why
no,
crime would be
no.
going
What
up.
I'm saying is, so for instance, when I moved here 45 years ago, you know, the crime was very low. But as
Okay,
criminals begin to know that people
right.
live here, of course, they're going to come to
Okay,
our community to perpetrate
that's
crime.
fair. But
Yeah.
I would look at the last 5, 10 years as to see an arc, because it, you know, it might be like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And, you know, I think a broader picture would be an accurate description. So like, you know, kind of what Elizabeth was referring to.
Yeah. So let's see what between our officers and Lucian, what,
Hmm?
and maybe we can help too. Maybe we can, maybe there's some, I'll talk to you about it, Lucian, because maybe there's some help that we can give by looking up some
Yeah,
data.
I'm sure that, I mean, there's, I don't have it at my fingertips now, but you know, it may not be difficult to pull together some legacy data,
Right.
especially if it's already available in Excel.
Um,
I'm not a data scraping extraordinaire like some people on this committee.
Well, we've got Mimi. Maybe Mimi can offer some help. So again, are there any questions that anyone wanted to offer to Lucian so that he could discuss it with our officers before they come next, so they can prepare before they come next month? Nope. Okay. Well, we're gonna go on to the big item on our Gerald, I see you're here. Hi, Gerald. Did you have anything you wanted to offer?
Hi, Pat. Sure. I mean, if for next month, I suppose, one of the topics that has been a topic of discussion in my immediate neighborhood is the permanent parking of a vehicle in front of our building, and it's a fruit vendor. They, you know, nobody has a problem with somebody vending fruit on the street. The problem that we seem to be having is that the truck has been parked there for quite some time, and it doesn't ever move. It's a permanent fixture, and so the fruit is actually stored and warehoused in the truck, and that creates quite a rat issue around the truck itself and up and down the street. So I know that a number of people have, a number of my neighbors have sent over 311 calls. I think there have been 911 calls because at one point the truck seemed to have been abandoned. It was removed for 24, 48 hours, and then the truck went back to the exact same spot and again hasn't been moved. I mean, the leaves on the tree above it have all fallen off and they're on the truck. You can just see that the truck doesn't move at all. So it'd be helpful if we could get some information as to why this truck is granted this. Apparently the police have come out and they closed the ticket out immediately. So this vehicle has some sort of exemption, but nobody in the neighborhood really knows why or what it is, and why is this truck being able to be used as a warehouse for fruit. And
So there's actually twofold problems.
Does anyone talk to the actual vendor when they're open and operational?
The owner of the vendor, good question. The owner of the vendor, the vendor isn't actually there. It's usually employees who work for the vendor or for whoever has the vendor license.
Gerald, what's the location, Gerald?
This is at the corner of Chambers and Greenwich.
Okay, I know. You know, I buy fruit from that person all the time. Yeah, that's not the owner. It's actually a good fruit stand, but I know what you're talking about with the truck thing.
Yeah.
It's too,
Is it the truck or is it the rats that we're most concerned about?
I would think the rats. That's what. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So then we're going
The
to
truck is the cause of the rats.
Right,
The thing is, it's a good service for the community. That fruit, you know, it's a lot cheaper than buying at Whole Foods, and it's almost the same thing. But Gerald has a good point that, you know, the truck shouldn't, you know, if it's a rat trap, you know, the truck needs to be moved and then just brought back when it's, you know, bringing back the fruit, you know.
Okay, two things though. I went by to look, so I thought it was on the corner of West Broadway. I thought it was in front of. Oh,
No,
you said said TD Bank, and so I was thinking of a TD Bank.
It's
on
the next
West
block.
Broad.
It's two blocks.
And
Next
two
block,
now
blocks.
I know which
Yeah.
should,
Across
you
from
know
PS
what?
234.
It's like right across the street from McDonald's, right?
Right,
Because
That's
yeah,
right,
right.
across
right.
from McDonald's.
Yeah.
Because Mitch, you and I have gone by there several times, and you have pointed. But now I remember
I
you
shop there.
said that's where you
I
buy
get a
your
lot of
fruit.
stuff there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm sure that the person that owns that truck and is not the the guys that are working there. They have nothing to do with the problem that Gerald brings up. You know.
Right. Well, I'll try to go by tomorrow because I went by last week and I was on the wrong corner. That's number one. Number two, Lucia's going to try to reach out to sanitation and see if there's something that can be done about the rat mitigation. So that would help.
Can I just ask Gerald? Gerald, if the truck was moved and not there, I mean, you guys on that, but you don't have a problem with the actual fruit stand when they're selling there, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I don't think anybody has a problem with the
Okay,
fruit
great,
stand.
great, yeah.
I buy fruit from there. You know, a lot of folks buy fruit from there. It's really just the issue of the rats.
I agree. I agree with you, of
Right.
course, for that. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll try to tackle the rat problem.
That would make me wonder too about maybe if the food is, I mean, it's kind of gross if they're selling food and it's sitting there and it's being stored in a truck that's surrounded by rats.
Well, we'll have to
That's
look and
kinda
see because
nasty.
it may be, it could be, I mean, Gee Whiz is on the other corner. It could just be, you know,
I mean, like
and
if it were a restaurant, right?
right.
With rats all over the place, even if they were just hanging out in front, and that
But I'm saying
restaurant
it could be the
would
garbage from the
probably get
residents.
Right.
a poor grade.
Rating. Right. But
mean,
it could be a combination of the, you know, first of all, across the street is the school, and I know there are a lot of rats in those shrubbery there. Then it could be the smell of the fruit. It could be, you know, it's a residential building. It could be their garbage. We'll have to investigate and see what the issue is. You know, it may not just be the truck. It may be a combination of several,
That
That's
sounds
fair.
fair.
yeah, several sources of food for the rodent
Yeah.
population, you know. So we'll check into that, Gerald.
Thanks a lot, Pat.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anything else you wanted to discuss or ask
No.
Lucian to ask our officers?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Good. Okay. So then we're going to move on to the big item on our agenda, which will be Mariama and Jill, and it's about World Trade Center number 5. So I am going to step out of it, and Mariama and Jill are going to take over.
Sure. And I know
Jill's
before-
actually done tons of preparation on this, so yeah, I
Okay,
will
so Jill's taking
allow
over.
her to begin to present. Thank you, Jill.
Yeah, thank you, Mariama. And also just want to say Victoria Fariello, who's part of 5 World Trade Center, is in the attendees. I don't know if she's going to want to add anything to this. But okay, so the Empire State Development and LMDC had public hearings in September for an upcoming vote, which will really cement certain items in the 5 World Trade Center development that we think are negative and do not go fit in with what this community has asked. The upcoming vote is going to allow ESD to sign the lease with Silverstein and that development group and lock in certain items that will make any further changes either impossible or extremely, extremely difficult at best. These include the design plan, and I know that we had in the past raised elements about the cost of this design, such as the curved windows and the materials that they're using. These will preclude any further affordable housing above this minimal 25%. So this vote coming up in December will also lock in that 25%. It'll lock in the financing provisions for the developer, which would make the independent feasibility study recommendations that would allow for 100% affordability impossible. Let's see, what else will this do? The comment period, which took place in September, took place at a time when there were 4 many multi-day Jewish holidays. As we know, this community board had to scramble to change schedules, and it was on a limited schedule. By doing that, they really limited, I think, the comments and people who could comment. They did not come and explain what this vote means to us. They did not come in and explain that by signing this lease and these additional $1 million+ that Silverstein will put into it would lock these elements in and would then preclude more affordable housing. This is particularly worrisome because when you look at what other electeds and communities are currently doing with these projects, including Silverstein's project in Queens, where they're up to maybe close to 45% affordable already. And there's a project in Harlem where the council person will not accept less than 55%. I would throw in that, although it's not for this board, this committee to vote on, that ESD and LMDC have really ignored our requests in many areas. For instance, the environmental impact statement. They ignored multiple requests by Alice Blank's committee to explain how they came to their conclusion that an impact statement developed in 2004 is applicable to what's going on in this area now in 2022. They, by refusing to speak to that, kind of speaks to, I think, in general, not coming in and explaining to us what this vote is. This would lock in the 10,000 square foot community space, which is very small. And let's see what else this would do. The other issue is that it would basically be voting on closing down LMDC, which LMDC hasn't told us, despite our many requests, how much funding they have less. We think it's somewhere between 130 million and 160 million. This would allow them to give that money to whomever they please without any input from this community. We heard, and Mariama, you can confirm this, that they could give it, maybe considering giving it to to two private entities, the 9/11 Museum, which is a private museum, or to the Performing Arts Center, which is also a private. They're nonprofits, but they're private. And we really want that money to go towards more affordable housing. So we are suggesting a resolution that will address the need to extend this period, this comment period, to hold off on this vote in December. The 5 World Trade Center Affordability Group actually met with the CEO of Silverstein. And what he said, and Mariama, you please confirm, that the vote will take place in December. And that's also during a holiday period time. Once this vote takes place, then ESD can sign all these documents. And that really means that our community board has not really been successful in gaining a lot of the asks that we have put out there. What do you think, Mariama? Anything to add to
I
that?
think that was a great summation. I would add maybe that similar to Alice's committee, Trisha's committee, Youth and Education, has also put forth a number of asks that have gone, unanswered. With regard to the community space, they were looking for a larger space, as was the board as a whole. I think Patrick's committee had a similar request, land use, that they wanted that space larger for the community, as did we. And this is something that's gone ignored and unanswered. And there's a clear indication to just move forward, without responding and then saying, oops, sorry, it's too late. And I think that is reinforced by these hearing dates and vote dates that continue to come up in the midst of holidays and, over the summer when people aren't people paying the least attention, it just seems very intentional. So,
Do we have any
So, ladies,
questions? Yeah.
oh, sorry, well, questions first.
Okay. Anyone have questions? Nope.
Okay,
let's see.
so did you want us to write a hold on a second.
Looks like
I can't see the attendees. Is
sorry.
Victoria wanting to say anything? Can
It
you
looks
see if she has her hand raised?
she does.
Oh, she does. Can we unmute Victoria or move her to a panelist or both?
Muted.
Can you hear me? Okay, great, thank
I
you.
can hear you.
Great,
You're gonna have to
thank
talk
you.
louder or closer to your microphone, Victoria.
Sorry, it's a new computer, so I apologize, I'm just learning it. But thank you so much, Mariama and Jill. Jill, that was a really good recap. I think that there's, the importance of this is huge. This is the last bit of the LMDC and the last opportunity for us to have a say in what happens, particularly with these funds. These funds belong to the community, and being able to have these funds directed towards affordability when the LMDC has failed to provide affordability, when we have lost affordability at Gateway Plaza, thousands of units, and Southbridge and other places downtown. This is really really important that we get this right. They don't need to sign this now. We don't. And one thing I also wanted to note was the community space. So, as Jill mentioned, the Coalition for 100% Affordable 5 World Trade Center commissioned a study. I think you may have had a presentation on the feasibility study. But one of the feasibility studies, actually, one of the plans called for 20,000 square feet, which is double the space of community space. So we can do 100% affordability and have more community space and make it financially viable. So, I think it's so critical that we delay this so we can actually look at these other opportunities before they tell us it's too late, we've signed this lease. So I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for even considering it.
Thank you, Victoria.
Anyone else have questions?
Anything else? Anyone else?
So, ladies, did you want a resume?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I think one of the problems is it looks like we've lost quite a few people who I don't think we have a quorum anymore, do we, Lucian?
Let me take a quick count.
I might be wrong, but
There's so many meetings today. There's resiliency. There's the borough president is having a mandatory training. There's, it's so much.
What was said about, because it was a mandatory training, and so are they offering it again?
Well, I think it's mandatory, like if you haven't taken it.
No, I thought it was mandatory for all community board members. What are you saying, Mimi?
I could
I
have.
think we have quorum still.
Okay.
Okay, let's vote fast.
But what were you saying, Mimi? I thought it was mandatory for all. board
Yeah,
members.
I think it is, because I had completely forgotten about it. And then
There's
switched
another
to-
offering later.
I think there were 3 that were
Maybe it was
mandatory.
wishful thinking. Like I read it and I was like, oh, I already did that. I already went to that.
I think
Okay.
it was wishful
Delete.
thinking.
I
think it
believe
was
they're
wishful
recorded.
thinking.
I believe the meetings are, the trainings are recorded.
That's right, Gerald, and they'll accept the honor system on if you say you watched it.
Oh, okay, so we can get it and watch it again? I'll watch it for the first time? All right, anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Next month
So-
we'll quiz everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's one of the things that's happening tonight. And so some of our members may be there. And then there's also a meeting on the resiliency in the neighborhood. I think, I forget where, but in Battery Park
really?
City, I
Oh,
think.
That's
Yeah.
too many meetings. All right, so we'll deal with the mandatory meeting. We'll
So
talk
Jill,
about
do you
that
want
later.
to
So-
read out the entire outline just for the record so people know what's going to be in this resolution?
Sure. So basically, the ESD, Empire State Development, is going to vote on the proposed amendment to World Trade Center Memorial and Cultural Program General Project Plan and the World Trade Center Memorial and Redevelopment Plan and proposed disposition of property in connection with development of World Trade Center Site 5. We believe the vote is scheduled for December, and we believe it should be postponed at this time for the following reasons. The board materials to be voted on were never discussed with the community board, and their full impact was never explained. The ESD vote timeline was not made clear. The public comment period took place during the Jewish high holiday period. The board vote would take place during the December holiday period. The impact of ESD's approval of these amendments would lock in the current 25% affordable units with no preferences given to the community or to 9/11 survivors or first responders. And one of the requests we did have, as an aside, was for a preference for the community.
Could I interrupt you for a minute?
Yes.
So you're saying it would lock in the 25% affordability that they've always been promising from the beginning, but you're also saying with no consideration. But aren't those two different things? Do you want to lump them together? You want more than 25?
Yeah, we
'cause you
could
want more than 25%, and you also want consideration for community, first survivors and first responders. And do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, agree 100%. We'll make that 2 points. Let's see. There has been no discussion with the community board, about the disbursement of any remaining LMDC funds, and we feel the community should have community input. There's no final amount has been given, despite requests of the undispersed LMDC funds. No discussion of how those funds should be used to benefit the community. Funds we think should be used for affordable housing specifically. And so our request is that no ESD vote take place in December, and that we have further whatever the word is, with ESD to go over what these amendments would mean to the community and discussion of the disbursement of unused funds.
So you don't want the vote to take place until they explain to us how they intend to disperse the funds, or until we give them input on how we would like to see the funds dispersed?
The latter.
I think,
So-
yeah.
So that's what you want to say then,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
So we've had a chance to have input on how the funds are to be dispersed.
that is correct.
Jill, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the right time to do it yet. I know we had spoken a while ago about, affordability at different levels, because what's affordable to some other people might not be affordable to some of us. So I think like the affordability at different levels instead of just like say a high end affordability, or is this not the time to put that in?
That's
I
already
can
been
tell you-
proposed. And that's already how the
Okay.
feasibility studies is designed, and on which this community board voted to support already.
Great,
You know,
right. I know. I just
the
didn't know if that was
coalition.
something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I can
Yeah.
tell you if you'd like
Thank
to
you.
hear what will be locked in by ESD.
No, I
So
remember from
yeah,
the previous time. I just didn't know if it was apropos for this thing, but it seems
this
that
would be, households earning an income at or below an average of 50% of AMI, provided that at least 10% of the residential units within the proposed project would be leased to households earning an income at or below 40% of
Great.
AMI.
Great.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
But we also, I would add, in the feasibility study, do go up to, I believe it's 100% AMI, for the reason that we want to be able to include middle and moderate income
Of course.
residents and first responders. And
Right.
they're going to be above the 40% of
Right.
AMI.
I know. It just a lot of these lottery buildings that I see advertised, like in the paper online, you know, just like, you know, if $3,000 a month might be affordable for somebody that normally could pay $5,000 a month, but you know, I'm just seeing a lot of high-end things that don't seem to fit that profile. So I'm glad that you have that in there.
Thank you. Understood and agreed.
Okay.
Any other questions? Did everyone understand what Jill and Mariama are proposing for or how they're going to construct the reso? The points that they're putting in, what they're asking for? Can we vote? I
Okay.
don't see face. There are I didn't see no people.
That
Where's
was quick.
everybody?
Okay,
Just
listen, for
I knew
votes,
it.
I need all the cameras on everyone.
Right, yeah, I see
Let's see
no,
some faces.
let's see
If
some
you don't have a face
faces.
on, I'm putting no camera in the vote sheet.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Bob,
Just
can
waiting
you
for a
come
couple
back
people.
on? There, Betty,
Hi,
Jimmy.
Elizabeth, okay. Jimmy, you there? All right, just give me a second. I have to just note who's left on this meeting. Da-da-da-da.
Jimmy, you there?
Jimmy doesn't come up. I'm going to just write in the
Jimmy,
chat.
can you hear us? Yes, stepped away. Betty?
Well, Betty's not a voting member.
Oh,
I'm not a voting member.
I always think you're part of, I mean, you're here all the time, so I always think you're on this committee. Thanks for coming, Betty. Oh, that is here.
All right, so I think I
Yeah.
have everything. So if we're gonna,
That is a voting member,
we're
isn't
just
she?
gonna, hold on a second, Nico. We're just gonna assume everyone is in favor. If I don't hear otherwise, the vote, this is affirmation. So,
This is Kettering. I abstain.
okay, I have Kettering abstained. All right, thank you. All those who are opposed? All those who are recusing? Okay, and all those who are abstain. And I have Kettering down for abstain. Okay, thank you all. This measure passes.
Yeah.
Thank
Great.
you.
Mariama and Jill, thank you. Committee, thank you. So we have a short meeting tonight. We're going to close in a minute, but I just wanted to ask. So next month we'll have DDC come and tell us what's going on in the community. We'll try to get our officers here for next month. I'm sorry they couldn't attend this month. I guess we want to go back and talk about Betty, the Brooklyn Bridge, the entrance, trying to get across with all of the vendors, which I went and took a look at, and it is ridiculous. Everybody, if you get a chance, go take a look at the entrance to the Brooklyn Bridge. So, walk across the Brooklyn Bridge, how many vendors there are. You can't maneuver. It's dangerous also. Any other topics for next month? What else do we want to put on the agenda? If you can't think of anything now and you think of something, please email us, Lucian and Mariama and I. Okay. So guess what? We're going. Yay.
Thank you,
So wait,
Pat.
what is full board meeting is after Thanksgiving, right? Is that right?
22nd,
Or is
I
it
believe.
before?
I looked at 22nd.
I think
Full
it's
board
next
is-
I
week.
think it's before. I think it's, the 22nd and Thanksgiving is the 24th, if I remember
Okay.
correctly.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
it's
Okay,
next
so
week.
I can say it anyway, just in case, because at full board meeting, we probably won't get a chance to say it. Have a great Turkey Day.
You too.
Right.
And I'll see everybody at full board. If not, tomorrow night at executive, and I don't know, there may be a couple more meetings between now and full board. Have a great night.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Lucian.